The Cottonwood County Citizen proudly presents Athlete of the Week. Need a second opinion on your insurance coverage? United Prairie Insurance can review your auto, life, health, RV, home, renters, and commercial insurance, helping you find policies to best meet your budget. Call 507-427-1190 or stop in our offices in Mountain Lake or Windham today.
I'm joined right now by Mountain Lake Junior Kody Wassman, our Athlete of the Week this week. Congratulations, Kody.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Thursday's section meet, and you guys were running in Laverne, which is a course that you guys are pretty well familiar with. You saw it earlier in the season. What did you learn from that earlier meet that you were able to apply to Thursday?
Yes, so just going through the course, having run it before a lot of times in the past has really helped because you know where the wind is going to hit you, you know where you're going to be struggling, you know where you have to push through, and yeah, that experience is really nice.
Last time you guys ran on that course for a section meet, it was a little bit unusual. A couple of years ago, you guys, ran in a heat, and it wasn't really the mass of humanity that we see in a typical section meet. But Thursday, you guys it's a 25 team section. How do you figure out who you need to keep pace with and what position you need to be in?
Yeah, so coach has done a really nice job. He lets me know who is going to be up there, how I need to race, and just sort of that sort of thing. And I'm familiar with most of the guys as I've ran against most of them in previous races. So then I can kind of judge off of that where I need to be, who I should be pacing with, and all of that.
A season ago, going into the section meet, it was a little bit of a different circumstance for you because you went to the National FFA convention a year ago, and it seemed like you were, a little under the weather at the section meet. How valuable was that as a learning experience for you, and able to try and make amends, so to speak, this year?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to make amends for going to the National FFA convention. I heard you guys did just fine there.
Yes, we did. We did really well there. It was nice. I mean, just kind of off season, a little bit of motivation, a little bit of that chip on your shoulder that, hey, I didn't make it last year. Let's go and do something and get it this year. In that regard, I mean, yes and no, if that makes any sense. It was big because I really wanted to make it to sections, but at the same time, I didn't have a good race last year, and sometimes that's just what you have to accept.
This season, going into sections, like you said, you kind of knew who you needed to keep pace with, and the guy from Redwood and the Januszewski from Laverne finished 1-2, and they were kind of out in front most of the race, but early on you were able to hang with them a little bit.
Yeah, so they kind of started off with a little bit of a slower start, and I think I was in that pack with them.
But that course in Laverne, it's mostly flat except for the one big hill going back up the hill to the school. How are you able to make up ground on basically a flat course?
It's just kind of, you have to know what your pace is. I have that mostly drilled into my head on where my pace is. So I was just kind of able to hold at that same pace and, I don't know, kind of judge off the guys next to me about where I need to be and everything like that.
At the conference meet, you guys, you had another rabbit, so to speak, in Salentini from Heron Lake, who basically, drafted off of you for most of the race. What was it how valuable was it for you to get out in front and not let somebody basically draft off of you and save their energy?
I mean, it's nice. I was mostly drafting off of other people, so there's a lot of the reverse. But yeah, it was a whole lot nicer letting other people do the work than having to do it myself.
What's the strategy behind drafting?
So it takes a lot of effort to lead. Most racers will let you know that very easily just because of wind resistance and also just air resistance in general. So if you're leading, you're taking all the air resistance, all the wind, and worse, if you're drafting, you're like basically doing half the work the person is in front of you.
But Thursday, you were able to kind of duck in behind a couple of guys and um, you were able to keep a really good pace. Then you get to that last hill after two grueling laps. What's that last hill like? That is kind of a heartbreak hill. Is well known in this part of the state.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy the hill. I enjoy pushing myself. I enjoy like the challenge, if that makes any sense. So it was more of want to and just kind of the will to get up that hill, the will to push myself to go faster, even though I'm tired. And then it just kind of happened. I have a nice kick and I was able to get there.
And you finished in fifth place. I imagine at that point you probably knew that you were going on to state, and you hit the finish line. It's got to be a little bit of a relief, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice to be able to know that I'm going when I was in fifth place. Like a lot of those other guys, they were kind of on the edge of not really knowing if they're going to make it or not. It was nice to finish, know that I'm going to go. But
You have not run at St. Olaf, correct?
yes,
So 2 years ago, when you guys made it as a team during the COVID year, that was the year they didn't have an officially sanctioned state meet. You guys kind of went to a unofficial state meet. I think it was up in Atwater,
yep.
but you guys didn't actually run on the state course. Have you been to the state course in Northfield just to look around, or is the trial run you're going to get on Friday going to be completely new experience?
It's going to be completely new. Yeah, I haven't been there.
But you do have experience from state track. How valuable is that to apply to state cross country?
I mean, it's somewhat valuable to know that there are really fast guys out there in the state. Like I get to see that when I've gone to track. I think though that it's quite a bit different, as the tracks are mostly the same throughout Minnesota. Like you have the flat surface or whatever, and that's really nice. But cross country, it's completely different. You don't know what you're going to be seeing on the course every single time you come out.
Now, you've made it to state track in the 3200, but this last spring you made it in the 800. How has that made you a better cross country runner?
I mean, yeah, the distance is really nice within the 800 because it more focuses on your kick, on your stride, and just kind of it's a whole lot shorter, and you don't have as much room for air as you do in cross country.
Looking ahead to Saturday, the course is going to be a completely new experience for you. What are your expectations for Saturday?
My expectations are just to run my best. I mean, I want to do well. There's no question of that. But there's quite a few really good runners in our state, and they'll do pretty well. But I'll try to go head to head with them. Probably when making it to state that COVID year in 2020, because just when coach told us that we were going. Well, I do listen to a lot of Colton Dixon and Newsboys. I'm not going to say a person because I can't. I mean, there's a lot of good individuals, so probably team-wise, definitely Laverne. I guess I'll say gusto. So what that means is like it's sort of like giving it your all, even when it's hard or whatever. I like to just spend time with my family and be outdoors.
Well, that should be all we need. Congratulations on a great week last week. Best of luck at state this weekend, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Need a second opinion on your insurance coverage? United Prairie Insurance can review your auto, life, health, RV, home, renters, and commercial insurance, helping you find policies to best meet your budget. Call 507-427-1190 or stop in our offices in Mountain Lake or Windham today.